I pull my pickup truck into the circular drive of the Grand Oak Haven, mud caked along the wheel wells from this morning's vineyard inspection. The steering wheel still smells faintly of diesel and wet earth. I'm wearing my favorite cashmere sweater from the row, cream-colored and soft as a whisper, paired with charcoal kite trousers that cost more than most people's monthly rent. Quiet luxury. The kind of wealth you have to know how to see. A contract valet in a stiff burgundy uniform intercepts me before I can even shift into park. His face twists into something ugly when he sees the truck. "Ma'am, you can't park this here." He waves his clipboard like a weapon. "VIP circle is for guests only." I blink at him. I am a guest. Right. His laugh is sharp. "Service vehicles use the loading zone around back. You need to move. Now." Heat crawls up my neck, but before I can respond, my sister Cassidy rushes out through the hotel's gilded doors. Her face is pale, almost greenish under her makeup. She's wearing ivory silk, her rehearsal dinner dress, and her hands flutter like trapped birds. "Eloise, wait." She positions herself between me and the valet, but she's not defending me. She's blocking me. Her eyes dart toward the terrace where clusters of wedding guests hold champagne flutes, their laughter carrying on the October wind. "Cass, what? Please." Her whisper cuts through my words. "Dad, his wife Linda, and the Sterlings are watching from the terrace. Can you just use the service entrance?" Her fingers grip my forearm, nails digging through the cashmere. "Your truck, your clothes. They'll think you're staff anyway. Please don't embarrass me today." The words land like a slap. I stand there, frozen, my brain struggling to process what my little sister just said. The sister I helped raise when our mother died. The sister whose college tuition I paid when Dad refused because she picked theater over business school. I own this hotel. I bought the Grand Oak Haven 2 years ago, the crown jewel of Moore Hospitality Group. My hospitality group. I could fire this sneering valet with a phone call. I could cancel this entire wedding with 3 words to Marcus, my general manager. But Cassidy doesn't know that. Nobody in my family knows that. And right now, watching my sister's desperate face, that secret feels like swallowing glass. "They'll think I'm staff," I repeat slowly. Cassidy's relief is immediate and disgusting. "Thank you for understanding. Just stay in the background today, okay? The Sterlings are. They're important people. Old money. East Coast aristocracy. This wedding is my only chance at a good life." She squeezes my arm once, then hurries back inside, her heels clicking against marble. The valet smirks, already turning away to greet a Tesla pulling up behind me. Yesterday's phone call with my father loops through my head, his voice, tight with warning. "If you come to this wedding, stay invisible. The Sterlings are old money. They're Cassidy's only chance at a good life. Don't ruin this with your failures." My failures. The business degree from Stanford. The hospitality empire I built from a single bed and breakfast in Napa. The quiet fortune I made while he was too busy ignoring me to notice. I want to scream. I want to march up to that terrace and tell my father exactly who owns the ground he's standing on, but that desperate, ugly thing inside me, the part that still craves his approval, keeps my feet planted. Maybe if I help Cassidy's day go perfectly, he'll finally see me as something other than a disappointment. I drive around to the service entrance, humiliation burning in my chest like acid reflux. The kitchen is chaos. Chef Laurent, a compact French man with a voice like a foghorn, screams at a line cook about undercooked potatoes. Servers rush past carrying trays. The air smells like clarified butter and panic. Then I see the real problem. Cases of vintage white wine sitting on the counter, condensation beating on the glass. They're warm. The ice machine, a commercial beast in the corner, drips pathetically, its motor silent. Chef Laurent spots me, his eyes scanning my cashmere sweater and tailored trousers. He makes a decision in half a second. "You. Agency help?" He doesn't wait for an answer, just shoves a crate of wine bottles at me. "Take these to the cooler." I should leave. I should walk out, get in my truck, and let this disaster unfold naturally. Let Cassidy serve warm wine to her precious Sterling family. Let Dad handle the fallout. But I don't. I set the crate down and grab a large metal bucket. Ice, water, salt. I work fast, my hands remembering the chemistry Dad never thought was worth teaching his daughters. The salt lowers the freezing point. The ice bath conducts heat away faster than air. 4 minutes. That's all it takes. I pull a bottle out and press it against my inner wrist. Perfect temperature. Chef Laurent stares at me like I just performed surgery. Where did you learn that? Around. I meet his eyes. You need more help tonight? He tosses me a hotel waistcoat, burgundy with gold buttons. Cover those street clothes. You can work. I button the vest over my cashmere. It fits snugly, transforming me from invisible failure to invisible staff. Something shifts inside me, cold and calculating. If they don't want me in the light, I'll work in the shadows. I'll make sure Cassidy's wedding is flawless, and maybe then Dad will finally admit I'm not worthless. I'll prove I belong, even if I have to do it while wearing someone else's uniform. I move through the ballroom with champagne flutes balanced on a silver tray, invisible in this burgundy waistcoat. The guests flow around me like I'm furniture. A woman in Chanel brushes past without even glancing at my face. Perfect. Then I spot Marcus near the bar, and my stomach drops. He's my general manager. The man I hired 18 months ago after poaching him from the Four Seasons. He knows exactly who signs his paychecks. His eyes lock onto mine across the room, and I watch his face cycle through confusion, recognition, then absolute shock. I press my finger to my lips. A quick wink. Marcus's expression smooths over like he's pulled a mask on. He gives the tiniest nod, then turns away, redirecting a server toward the kitchen, letting my game continue. Relief floods through me, warm and steadying. At least someone in this building knows my worth. I circle toward the south corner of the ballroom, where heavy velvet curtains frame a small alcove with Louis XVI chairs. It's meant to be a private seating area for elderly guests who need rest. Right now, it's occupied by two people who clearly don't want to be overheard: Beatrice Sterling and her son Preston. I slow my approach, letting my footsteps fade into the ambient noise of clinking glasses and string quartet music. They're arguing in harsh whispers, Beatrice's diamond necklace catching the light as she leans forward. "Mother, this is insane." Preston's voice carries an edge of nervous laughter. "You can't actually expect to pull this off." "Lower your voice." Beatrice's tone could freeze water. And yes, I can. I already paid the sound technician $2,000 cash. During the toast, he'll swap out that saccharine photo montage with the video. My hands tighten on the tray, the champagne glasses tremble, a soft chime that makes Preston glance toward me, but his eyes slide right past. Just the help. Invisible. "What video?" Preston asks. "Cassidy at her sorority mixer, sophomore year. Absolutely plastered, crying about how nobody really loves her, making a complete fool of herself." Beatrice's smile is sharp enough to cut glass. I had someone dig through old social media posts. It's deliciously pathetic. My blood goes cold. Public humiliation? Preston sounds almost impressed now. "Mother, that's cruel even for you." "It's strategic." Beatrice examines her manicure, voice flat and businesslike. "Make her feel so small, so unworthy of us, that she'll believe signing the prenup is her only way to earn our forgiveness. Broken women are obedient women, Preston. Your father taught me that. She'll sign away the dowry and her grandmother's trust just to make the shame stop." The champagne glasses are shaking harder now. I force my hands still, but something hot and sharp is building in my chest. This isn't snobbery. This isn't even ordinary cruelty. This is predatory. A calculated psychological attack designed to destroy my sister's sense of self so completely that she'll hand over her financial autonomy. Cassidy might be weak and vain and desperate for approval, but she doesn't deserve this. Nobody deserves this. Preston shifts in his chair, and I catch the gleam of his Rolex. The one he bragged about at the rehearsal dinner last night, claiming it was vintage. I've seen enough counterfeits to spot one from across a room. "And if she doesn't sign?" Preston asks. Then we escalate. But she will. They always do. Beatrice stands, smoothing her dress. "Now, go find your brother and make sure he keeps Cassidy distracted. I need to confirm the technician has the file loaded correctly." They sweep past me toward the terrace doors, and I'm left standing there with a tray of champagne and a head full of rage. My hands are steady now. The hurt sister in me, the one who wanted Dad's approval badly enough to wear this waistcoat, is gone. The CEO is here instead. Cold. Analytical. Strategic. I can't just stop the wedding. If I do that, Cassidy will blame me. She'll believe the Sterling's lies, think I sabotaged her happiness out of jealousy. Dad will agree, and I'll be the villain forever. I need evidence. Hard, irrefutable proof that destroys the Sterling's leverage completely. I retreat to a prep station near the kitchen entrance and set down my tray. My brain is already working through the problem like a spreadsheet. I need two things: the source video file, Beatrice planted with the sound technician, and official documentation of their bankruptcy. Court records, financial statements, something concrete that even my father can't dismiss. If I reveal myself now without proof, the Sterlings will spin it as me being a jealous, vindictive older sister who couldn't stand to see Cassidy succeed. They'll paint me as unstable, obsessive. I need them to expose themselves first. Ma'am. Marcus appears beside me, his voice barely a murmur. I saw you overhear something. Is everything all right? I turn to face him, keeping my expression neutral. Check the Sterling account status, discreetly. He doesn't question it, just pulls out his mobile terminal, fingers moving across the screen with practiced efficiency. After 30 seconds, his face goes pale. Hard flags on the credit card, ma'am. The system tried to run the final payment for tonight's reception 3 times. All declined. Insufficient funds. He looks up, his eyes dark with concern. And there are industry rumors of a Chapter 11 filing. Rumors, not proof. I need the official documents. Pacer bankruptcy records. The sound file. Everything laid out so clearly that even my father can't twist the narrative in his head. I glance toward the restricted service hallway that leads to the security office and central server room. The same room where all AV equipment feeds connect. Where the sound technician would have uploaded his files. Stay here, Marcus, I say quietly. I need to get to the secure terminal. His jaw tightens, but he nods. Be careful. I slip into the hallway, the sounds of the party fading behind me. My heartbeat is steady, purposeful. I'm not scared. I'm focused. The Sterlings want to break my sister. They're about to learn what happens when you threaten someone Amor actually loves. Preston Sterling catches me near the bar during a lull between champagne service rounds. I'm balancing an empty tray, trying to stay invisible, when his hand lands on my lower back. Too low. Too familiar. Careful, darling. He leans in close enough that I smell scotch and expensive cologne fighting for dominance. His cigar hovers over my tray, ash dropping deliberately onto the polished silver surface. That waistcoat is worth more than your car. His laugh cuts through the ambient piano music, entitled, Ugly, the kind of sound that's never been told no. I step sideways, putting air between us. Excuse me, sir. Sir? He grins wider, eyes crawling over me in a way that makes my skin feel dirty. I like that. So polite. Does Declan know? I ask, risking a glance at the groom across the room. Preston laughs. Declan thinks what Mother tells him to think. He hasn't looked at a bank statement in 5 years. Now run along. I walk away fast, dumping the tray at a service station. My hands shake as I wipe ash residue off the silver. The cashmere under this waistcoat suddenly feels suffocating. 20 minutes later, I'm refilling champagne flutes at the far end of the ballroom when a man in a Tom Ford suit pauses mid-conversation. His eyes narrow, studying my face with uncomfortable intensity. Wait, he points at me with his champagne glass. Don't I know you? The Innovation Summit in Austin? You gave that keynote on sustainable luxury hospitality. My blood goes cold. I open my mouth, scrambling for a response that won't blow my cover, but Beatrice Sterling materializes like smoke. Her laugh is bright and sharp as broken glass. She waves a dismissive hand, diamonds catching the light. She's just the help, darling. You're confusing her with someone who matters. The tech investor frowns, uncertain, but Beatrice is already steering him away. Her voice carries back to me. These agency workers all look the same in dim lighting, don't they? I stand there holding a champagne bottle, invisible again. The woman who presented to Fortune 500 executives reduced to furniture. Something hot and bitter rises in my throat. I need to find Dad. I need him to listen before this wedding becomes a weapon against Cassidy. I scan the ballroom and spot him through the terrace doors, laughing with Mr. Sterling. His face is flushed with bourbon and pride, one hand clapping the older man's shoulder. Now or never. I set down the champagne and walk toward the terrace. My heart hammers against my ribs. I catch Dad's eye as he turns from Mr. Sterling, and I jerk my head toward a service corridor off the main hall. His expression darkens immediately, but he follows. The corridor is narrow, lined with framed black and white photos of the hotel's history. Photos I selected personally. Dad closes the distance between us, his breath coming hard through his nose. Dad, listen to me. I keep my voice low and urgent. The Sterlings are frauds. They're planning to humiliate Cassidy during the reception, to manipulate her into signing an amended prenup. They're going to play a video. His face turns purple. The color starts at his collar and spreads upward like spilled wine. You are poison. The words come out strangled. Pure poison with jealousy. I'm not jealous, I'm trying to. You can't stand it. His hand shoots out, fingers digging into my upper arm through the waistcoat and cashmere. You can't stand that Cassidy succeeded where you failed. That she found a real man from a real family instead of hiding on some dirt farm pretending to be better than everyone. The grip hurts. I try to pull away, but he holds tighter. Dad, please. I have proof. The Sterlings are bankrupt. They're planning to... Get out of my sight. Spit hits my cheek. Get out before I have security, throw you out myself. I force myself to stay calm. To try one more time. Dad, I own this hotel. I have evidence they're planning to... Enough! His roar echoes off the corridor walls. A passing server startles, nearly dropping a tray. Dad's face is inches from mine now, his breath hot and sour. You're a liar and a disgrace. Pretending to own hotels? Pathetic. This is exactly why your mother would be ashamed of you. His fingers dig deeper into my arm. I'll have bruises tomorrow. If I see you near Cassidy again tonight, you're dead to me. Dead. Do you understand? Something inside me goes very still, very quiet. I've spent 29 years chasing this man's approval. 29 years trying to be smart enough, successful enough, good enough to earn a fraction of the love he pours onto Cassidy. I bought a hotel chain he admired. I built an empire from nothing. And he just called me a liar to my face. The desperate, hungry thing inside me, the part that still believed he might love me someday, dies right there in that corridor. I feel it happen. It doesn't hurt the way I expected. It feels like setting down a heavy suitcase I've been carrying my whole life. My father never loved me. He loved the idea of what I might become for him. A trophy daughter, a status symbol, and when I failed to sparkle the right way, I became convenient target practice for his disappointments. Okay, Dad. My voice comes out flat. Empty. I'll handle this my way. I turn and walk away. His angry breathing fades behind me, but I don't look back. Not once. The kitchen is organized chaos when I push through the swinging doors. Chef Laurent is plating appetizers with violent precision, shouting at a sous chef about garnish placement. He glances up when I enter, takes one look at my face, and goes still. I don't say anything. I don't need to. He witnessed the whole thing from the kitchen doorway. He saw my father grab me, heard him scream. Chef Laurent wipes his hands on his apron and walks to a prep table near the walk-in cooler. He picks up his master key card, the one that opens every door in this hotel, and slides it across the stainless steel surface toward me. No words, no questions, just loyalty. I take the card. My fingers close around the plastic, warm from his pocket. Thank you. He nods once and returns to his appetizers. Behind me, the kitchen resumes its organized chaos. I head toward the restricted hallway that leads to the AV and security sector. I know every inch of this hotel. Every shortcut, every access point, every system vulnerability. I designed half of them personally when I acquired the property. Behind me, I feel eyes on my back. I glance over my shoulder and catch Beatrice Sterling watching from across the ballroom. Her champagne glass pauses halfway to her lips. Her eyes narrow, tracking the waitress who just walked into a restricted area like she owns the place. Which, of course, I do. I walk toward the restricted corridor with my spine straight, my steps deliberate. The security cameras mounted in the corners track my movement. I'm counting on it. Behind me, Beatrice Sterling's heels click against the tile like gunshots. She's following me. Of course she is. Paranoid people always assume everyone else is plotting against them, probably because that's all they do themselves. Excuse me. Her voice cuts through the hallway. Where do you think you're going? I don't slow down. Chef Laurent's master keycard sits heavy in my pocket, and the door to the AV sector is 20 feet ahead. 15. 10. I said stop! Her screech echoes off the walls. I reach for the card reader, but Beatrice's hand clamps onto my shoulder. nails digging through the waistcoat. Security. She's screaming now, loud enough to shatter crystal. Stop her! This woman is a thief! I saw her take a guest's wallet from the coat check. 2 contract security guards rush around the corner from the lobby. New hires. I don't recognize either of them, which means they definitely don't recognize me. Perfect. Beatrice points at me like I'm a cockroach she found in her salad. Search her. She's been lurking around restricted areas all night. Throw her in the security holding room until the police arrive. Keep her away from the guests. My father appears at the corridor entrance. Our eyes meet for 1 second. I watch him process the scene. His daughter being accused of theft by a wedding guest. He could defend me. He could ask questions. He could do literally anything a parent should do. He turns his back and walks away. The guards grab my arms. Their grips are firm but not brutal. They're just doing their job, following the hysterical commands of a woman in a designer gown who looks like she belongs here, unlike me in my borrowed waistcoat. Preston Sterling saunters up, hands in his pockets, that ugly smirk plastered across his face. Trash always reveals itself, doesn't it? Beatrice practically vibrates with triumph. I knew something was wrong with her. The way she kept staring at our family, listening to private conversations. She's probably been casing the hotel all week. Please. I let my voice shake, let my shoulders curl inward. I didn't take anything. I swear I didn't. One of the guards pats down my pockets. He pulls out Chef Laurent's keycard and my phone. Nothing else. No wallet. Beatrice's face flushes, but she doesn't back down. She probably already stashed it somewhere. Just get her out of my sight before she ruins my son's wedding. The guards exchange a glance. The taller one shrugs. We'll hold her until we can sort this out, ma'am. They walk me down the corridor, past the AV booth where 2 of the Sterling's private bodyguards stand like sentries, past the supply closets. Holding rooms under maintenance. The shorter guard mutters, paint fumes. Use the server maintenance closet, the other says. It locks from the outside. They push me into a cramped, windowless room that smells of ozone and dust, just a metal chair wedged between racks of blinking equipment. The door locks with a heavy click. Their footsteps fade down the hallway, along with Beatrice's satisfied laughter. I count to 10 in the darkness. Then I lift my head. Mistakes were made. The Sterlings thought they were neutralizing a threat. Instead, they just locked me inside the nerve center of the entire hotel. Right there, humming beside my knee, is the auxiliary server rack. And, crucially, the admin maintenance port. I smile. I cross to the wall panel and pull out my phone. The guards took Chef Laurent's keycard, but they didn't take this. Why would they? It's just a phone to them. To me, it's the master key to everything. I connect the cable to the admin port. My fingers move fast across the screen. Muscle memory from 2 years of personally overseeing every system upgrade in every Moore Hospitality Group property. First, the Pacer database. I download the official bankruptcy documents. Sterling Industries LLC, Chapter 11, filing dated 2 weeks ago. Asset seizure. Creditor list 3 pages long. Total debt exceeding $4 million. Second, the hotel's internal payment records. I filter by today's date, by cash transactions, by amounts over $1,000. There, a $2,000 cash payment logged to Sound Services, special request with the notation, B. Sterling, personal. Third, the video file itself. I navigate through the presentation server, past the legitimate slideshow Cassidy approved, to the hidden file queued to play during the toast. The file name makes my stomach turn. Cassidy Party Fail, Final. MP4. I watch 30 seconds. My sister, drunk at some sorority mixer, mascara running, stumbling over her words while college kids laugh in the background. She's crying about something. Her words slurred and pathetic. The camera zooms in on her face at the worst moments. My jaw clenches so hard my teeth ache. I close the video and open the hotel's master presentation system. 90 seconds. That's all I need to build a new slideshow. I work methodically, dropping in images, the bankruptcy filing, the foreclosure notice on the Hamptons estate, the cash payment receipt with Beatrice's signature, and the pièce de résistance, the CCTV footage showing Beatrice handing an envelope to the sound tech. I sync the visual feed with the localized audio logs from the booth's directional mic. The result is cinema quality proof. I cue the slideshow to play on all ballroom screens, overriding any other input. Priority level 1. No manual cancel option. Then I access the security management system and remotely unlock 2 doors. This server closet and my private office suite on the executive floor. I check my watch. The toast is scheduled for 8 o'clock. I have 60 minutes to get upstairs to my executive suite, where my emergency gala dress is hanging in the closet, and prepare for the final act. My phone buzzes. A text from Marcus. "Ma'am, are you all right?" I saw security take someone toward holding. I type back, "I'm fine, don't interfere. Everything is proceeding exactly as planned." 3 dots appear, then disappear. Marcus knows better than to question me when I use that tone. I pocket my phone and disconnect from the terminal. The closet door clicks open when I push it. The hallway is empty. Everyone's in the ballroom, preparing for dinner service, waiting for the touching toast that will never come. I pause at the threshold and look back at the little room. The Sterlings think they've won. They think they've neutralized the threat, humiliated the troublemaker, protected their con. I whisper to the empty air, "Now let's see what you're really worth, Beatrice." Then I head for the service stairs, moving through my own hotel like a ghost, ready to shed this borrowed skin and show them exactly who owns the ground they're standing on. The ballroom glitters like a jewelry box under the chandeliers. 200 guests settle into their seats, champagne flutes catching the light. Cassidy sits at the head table in her ivory gown, radiant and unsuspecting. Declan holds her hand. My father stands near the bar, laughing at something Mr. Sterling just said. Beside him, Linda adjusts her shawl, looking pleased just to be included. Beatrice Sterling glides to the microphone, her emerald dress catching every eye. She taps the mic twice. The room quiets. "Good evening, everyone." Her smile is sharp enough to cut glass. What a beautiful celebration of love we're witnessing tonight. She pauses, letting the moment stretch. Her eyes find Cassidy, and something cruel flickers there. And now, a special video montage to celebrate the real Cassidy we all know and love. The lights dim. Guests murmur appreciatively, settling back with their champagne. I watch from the mezzanine balcony, my midnight blue silk dress, a stark contrast to the waiter's vest I wore an hour ago. The fabric pools around my feet, expensive and heavy. My hair is down now, loose waves framing a face that has been scrubbed clean of kitchen steam and humiliation. Marcus stands behind me, solid as a wall, blocking the stairs. The massive LED screens flicker to life, then go black. Confusion ripples through the crowd. Beatrice's smile falters. She taps her manicured nails against the microphone, the sound amplified through the speakers. "Technical difficulties," she says, voice tight. "Just one moment." I lean forward, my hands resting on the balcony railing. The PA system crackles, and my voice fills the ballroom, calm and cold as winter. "I'm afraid that video isn't available, Beatrice. But I found some other interesting files you might want to see." Every head swivels, searching for the source. I step into the light spilling from the overhead chandelier. The murmurs swell. "Who is that? Is that the waitress from earlier?" Beatrice's face drains white. Preston whips around, his champagne sloshing onto the tablecloth. My father's mouth opens, but no sound comes out. The screens light up with devastating clarity. Slide 1. Pacer bankruptcy documents in stark black and white. Sterling Industries LLC, Chapter 11. Filing dated exactly 2 weeks ago. The filing number sits at the top, official and damning. I hear the sharp intake of breath from the investors sitting near the front. Slide 2. Foreclosure. Notice on the Hamptons estate. Assets seized. The bank's logo gleams in the corner. Impossible to fake. Slide 3. Bank statement showing declined. Insufficient funds on the Sterling Black Card, the one used to pay for tonight's reception. Transaction amount? $62,500. Timestamp: 4 hours ago. Slide 4. CCTV footage from the AV. Beatrice, caught in perfect high definition, handing a stack of bills to the sound technician. Thanks to my audio sync, her voice plays crystal clear through the speakers. We need to break her spirit, so she knows who owns her. The ballroom erupts. Guests pull out phones. Camera flashes pop like tiny fireworks. I watch the Sterling table as their world collapses in real time. My voice cuts through the chaos. "And regarding your final payment for tonight's reception, Mrs. Sterling," I hold up my tablet, Screen facing the crowd. The declined transaction glows red. Your card didn't glitch. It was a hard decline. Insufficient funds. You're bankrupt. Beatrice lunges for the microphone, but hotel security appears from the shadows, blocking her path. She wheels on them, voice shrill. Get out of my way! I'll sue this entire hotel! The ballroom doors crash open. The valet from this morning, the one who sneered at my truck, rushes in, eyes wild. Mr. Preston Sterling, the repo company is towing your Ferrari. They say the lease is 3 months overdue. Preston vaults from his chair, knocking over champagne glasses. His face flushes purple. That's impossible. I paid that. With what money? Someone shouts from the investor tables. Laughter, ugly and sharp, ripples through the crowd. Beatrice's composure shatters. She claws at the security guard, mascara streaming down her face. You can't do this to us. Do you know who we are? Bankrupt frauds? I say quietly, but the PA system carries every syllable. Declan stands frozen beside Cassidy, tears streaming down his face. I didn't know. His voice breaks. I swear to God, I didn't know. Cassidy stares at the screens, then up at me on the balcony. Recognition dawns slowly, disbelief written across her features. The sister she asked to use the service entrance, the sister she was ashamed of. I let the silence stretch until it aches. For those who don't know me, I'm Eloise Moore. I own Moore Hospitality Group, including this hotel. I bought it 2 years ago. I look directly at my father. His hand grips the bar rail, knuckles bone white. I was asked to use the service entrance today because my truck embarrassed my family. So I served drinks and watched the Sterlings plan to psychologically destroy my sister for money they don't have. Robert tries to speak. His mouth works, but nothing emerges. Linda, beside him, has gone absolutely still, her eyes darting around the room as if calculating the quickest exit. I turn to Cassidy. Her face is pale, eyes wide and wet. The wedding can continue if you want, but the Sterlings owe this hotel $62,500. They can't pay. I pause, letting that sink in. That's your choice to make, not mine. Then I face Beatrice. She's collapsed against the security guard, her emerald dress crumpled. You have 1 hour to vacate the premises before I file charges for fraud and theft of services. Preston makes one last desperate play, grabbing for the microphone on the head table. Marcus moves like water, stepping between him and the equipment. 2 more security guards appear, their presence quiet but unmistakable. The investors are already leaving, disgust evident in their hurried exits. I hear fragments of conversation floating up. Chapter 11, 2 weeks before a wedding? That video plan was psychotic. I almost invested with them last month. End quote. Beatrice's sobs echo through the ballroom as the security team escorts the Sterling family toward the exit. Preston keeps twisting back, trying to catch Declan's eye, but Declan won't look at him. Won't look at anyone. I stay on the balcony, watching the wreckage below. The screens have gone dark. The chandeliers seem too bright now, illuminating every shocked face, every whispered conversation, every phone recording this moment for posterity. Cassidy still hasn't moved. She sits at the head table in her beautiful dress, staring at her hands. My father stands alone at the bar, and for the first time in my life, he looks small. I straighten my shoulders. Marcus nods once, professional and perfect. Together, we descend the stairs to handle what comes next. The Sterlings flee through the lobby like roaches when the lights flip on. Beatrice clutches her purse to her chest, Preston's face twisted in fury as guests lift their phones. Camera flashes pop like firecrackers. Their sobs echo off the marble floors, pathetic and sharp. Outside, a tow truck hooks Preston's Ferrari, the repo man whistling as he works. Marcus coordinates with hotel security near the concierge desk, his voice clipped and professional as they file the police report for theft of services. $62,500. I watch from the mezzanine, a glass of wine in my hand, feeling nothing. The ballroom empties slowly. Robert Moore stands alone near the head table, staring at me like he's seeing a stranger. He moves toward me, hand extended, his expression caught between shock and calculation. Eloise, I didn't know you owned, if you'd told me you were successful. I walk past him. My shoulder doesn't even brush his. He's invisible now, The way he made me invisible my entire life. The man who told me to use the service entrance gets nothing from me. Not my anger, not my forgiveness, just absence. Linda tries to follow, her heels clicking frantically. Eloise, wait. We can talk about this. Think about the family reputation. I keep walking. The terrace doors close behind me, cutting off her shrill voice. Cassidy sits on the stone steps in her wedding dress, mascara streaking down her face in dark rivers. The silk pools around her like spilled milk. Declan sits beside her, not touching, just present. His bow tie hangs loose around his neck. I didn't know, he whispers again. I swear to God, I'll make this right. I approach carefully, my heels quiet on the stone. I sit on Cassidy's other side, leaving space between us. The garden smells like jasmine and cut grass. Nobody speaks for a long time. Finally, Cassidy's voice cracks the silence. You own this hotel? Yes. And you used the service entrance because I asked you to? Yes. Her sob is small and broken. I'm so sorry. I pull a contract from my clutch, the paper crisp and official. The hotel bill is $62,500. I won't pay it. If you two want to be adults, you pay it. Declan looks up, something desperate flickering in his eyes. How? Work. I set the contract between them. I'm offering you both employment contracts. Cassidy, laundry department. Declan, bellhop. Minimum wage, $15 per hour. Double shifts and weekends. It will take about 6 months of grueling work if you live cheaply. Cassidy stares at the paper, then at me. You're serious? Completely. I meet her eyes. Or walk away and let your father handle it. Declan takes the pen first. His signature is shaky but deliberate. Cassidy watches him. She looks down at her hands, her nails perfectly manicured for a life of leisure she thought she had secured. Then she looks at the rough industrial paper of the contract. She takes a breath, picks up the pen, and signs. Her hand trembles, but she doesn't stop. 6 months blur past in fragments. Cassidy sweating in the industrial laundry, her nails broken and raw. Declan hauling luggage up endless flights of stairs, his uniform soaked through. Both of them eating sandwiches on the loading dock curb, laughing at something stupid. Their small apartment with thrift store furniture and no pretense. Just work and rest and the slow, painful freedom from fake status. 1 year later, the garden at the Grand Oak Haven blooms white and gold. Cassidy wears a simple cotton dress, no veil, no train. She looks radiant in a way her first wedding never captured. Declan wears a suit he bought himself, tailored but affordable. Real. Before the ceremony, Cassidy makes a choice. Instead of the grand lobby entrance, she walks to the service door. Jimmy, the security guard who saw everything that night, grins and holds it open. Cassidy high-fives him. Thanks, Jimmy. She walks through the kitchen, where Chef Laurent nods approvingly, through the ballroom's side door into the garden. Same entrance, completely different meaning. Not shame now, humility, pride in work, freedom. I watch from the garden, Marcus beside me. Think they'll make it? He asks. I smile. They already did. They chose reality over fantasy. That's the hardest part. Robert and Linda weren't invited. The guest list is small. People who showed up when everything fell apart. The ceremony begins, and my voice whispers through my thoughts. Some people think I was cruel. I gave them dignity, not money. I gave them the chance to build something real instead of living a lie. Blood doesn't excuse trespassing. And family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up when you're standing at the service entrance, and they walk through it with you.